Welcome to our exploration of the dynamic tapestry of English literature, a journey spanning over a millennium. From the epic tales of Anglo-Saxon warriors like Beowulf to the vivid storytelling of Chaucer's The Canterbury Tales and the timeless works of Shakespeare, through the social critiques of Jane Austen and Charles Dickens to the modernist innovations of Virginia Woolf and James Joyce, and finally, the avant-garde experiments of the postmodernists. Each period reflects the evolution of language, culture, and human thought against the backdrop of historical events that shaped the course of literature. Our Odyssey begins in the 5th century with the migration of Germanic tribes, known as the Anglo-Saxons, to Britain. This period, known as Old English literature, emerged amidst a landscape of tribal conflicts and cultural consolidation. The epic poem Beowulf stands as a testament to the heroic ethos of the time, celebrating the valor of its protagonist in battles against monstrous foes. The Christianization of England during this period also influenced literature, blending pagan traditions with Christian themes. Another significant work is The Wanderer, an elegy that delves into themes of loss and exile, reflecting the somber tone of the era. The Seafarer is yet another poignant poem, exploring the hardships and spiritual journey of a life at sea. The Dream of the Rood stands out for its unique perspective, presenting a dream vision of the cross on which Christ was crucified, blending heroic and Christian elements. These texts, along with many others, form the rich tapestry of Old English literature, offering a window into the lives, beliefs, and struggles of the Anglo-Saxon people. The Middle English period began with the Norman conquest of 1066, marking a significant cultural and linguistic shift in England. Norman French culture mingled with Anglo-Saxon traditions, giving rise to a new era of literary expression. Geoffrey Chaucer, often hailed as the father of English literature, wrote The Canterbury Tales, a collection of stories told by pilgrims journeying to Canterbury Cathedral. Chaucer's tales offer a panoramic view of medieval English society, reflecting the social, religious, and political dynamics of the time. Another significant work from this period is Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, a chivalric romance that explores themes of bravery, honor, and knightly virtues. William Langland's Piers Plowman is a notable allegorical narrative that delves into the life of a humble plowman and critiques the social and religious issues of the era. The Book of Marjorie Kempe, considered one of the earliest autobiographies in English, provides a unique perspective on medieval mysticism and the life of a devout Christian woman. These texts, along with many others, showcase the rich tapestry of Middle English literature, reflecting the diverse voices and stories of medieval England. The Renaissance, beginning in the 14th century, sparked a cultural renaissance in England. The revival of classical learning, humanism, and artistic innovation transformed literature into a vehicle for intellectual exploration and individual expression. William Shakespeare, the preeminent playwright of the era, wrote a diverse body of work that captures the essence of Renaissance humanism and explores universal themes of love, power, and the complexities of human nature. His masterpieces, such as Hamlet, Macbeth, and Othello, delve into the depths of the human psyche and the moral dilemmas faced by individuals. Other notable works from this period include Edmund Spenser's The Faerie Queene, an allegorical epic poem celebrating the Tudor dynasty, and Christopher Marlowe's Dr. Faustus, which explores themes of ambition and the supernatural. The Protestant Reformation and the rise of scientific inquiry also influenced literature, challenging traditional beliefs and fostering new ways of thinking. Thomas More's Utopia presented a vision of an ideal society, while Sir Philip Sidney's The Defence of Poesy argued for the value of imaginative literature in society. Sir Philip Sidney's Astrophel and Stella is a notable sonnet sequence that explores themes of love and desire, while Thomas Kyd's The Spanish Tragedy is a pioneering work in the genre of revenge tragedy. Christopher Marlowe's other significant works, The Jew of Malta and Tamburlaine, further exemplify the era's dramatic innovation and exploration of complex characters. John Webster's The Duchess of Malfi and Ben Jonson's Volpone are also key texts from this period, showcasing the dark and satirical elements of Renaissance drama. Sidney's Arcadia and Spenser's The Shepherd's Calendar are important prose and poetic works that reflect the pastoral and allegorical traditions of the time. The Renaissance and early modern period left an indelible mark on English literature, with its rich tapestry of texts and authors continuing to influence and inspire generations of writers and readers. The Enlightenment of the 18th century emphasized reason, empirical inquiry, and individual rights. English literature of this period engaged in social criticism, satire, and philosophical discourse, reflecting the intellectual ferment of the time. Notable works include Jonathan Swift's Gulliver's Travels, Voltaire's Candide, and Alexander Pope's The Rape of the Lock. Romanticism, a reaction against the Industrial Revolution and Enlightenment rationalism, celebrated emotion, nature, and the sublime. Romantic poets such as William Wordsworth, Samuel Taylor Coleridge, and John Keats explored themes of individualism, imagination, and the power of nature. Key texts from this era include lyrical ballads by Wordsworth and Coleridge, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, and William Blake's Songs of Innocence and of Experience. The Victorian era, spanning much of the 19th century, was characterized by rapid social, economic, and technological change. Victorian literature reflected the complexities of an era marked by industrialization, urbanization, and imperial expansion. Charles Dickens, a prominent novelist of the period, depicted the social injustices and inequalities of Victorian society in works such as Oliver Twist, Great Expectations, and A Tale of Two Cities. Other notable authors include George Eliot, whose novel Middlemarch explores the intricacies of provincial life, and Thomas Hardy, who portrayed the struggles of rural England in works like Tess of the D'Urbervilles and Far from the Madding Crowd. The era also saw the rise of women writers such as Elizabeth Barrett Browning and the Bronte sisters, who challenged societal norms and expanded the scope of English literature. The early 20th century witnessed the rise of modernism, a literary movement that challenged traditional forms and conventions in response to the fragmentation and disillusionment brought about by World War I and rapid social change. T.S. Eliot's poem, The Wasteland, and Virginia Woolf's novel Mrs. Dalloway exemplify modernist experimentation with form and narrative technique, reflecting the uncertainty and disillusionment of the post-war era. James Joyce's Ulysses, with its stream of consciousness technique, and Franz Kafka's The Metamorphosis, exploring themes of alienation and absurdity, along with F. Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby, critiquing the American dream, and Ernest Hemingway's The Sun Also Rises, depicting the lost generation, all contribute to the rich tapestry of modernist literature, each reflecting the complexities of their time. Postmodernism emerged in the mid-20th century as a response to the perceived certainties and grand narratives of modernism. Postmodern writers like Salman Rushdie, Italo Calvino, and Jeanette Winterson challenged conventions of genre, narrative structure, and reality itself. Rushdie's Midnight's Children, Calvino's If on a Winter's Night a Traveller, and Winterson's Oranges are not the only fruit. Explore themes of identity, history, and the nature of storytelling in a rapidly changing global landscape. Other notable postmodern works include Thomas Pynchon's Gravity's Rainbow, Don DeLillo's White Noise, and David Foster Wallace's Infinite Jest. These texts often employ metafiction, pastiche, and unreliable narrators to question the nature of reality and truth. Postmodernism's playful and critical approach to literature continues to influence contemporary writers and remains a vital part of the literary landscape. As we conclude our exploration of English literature, we recognize its profound connection to historical events, societal changes, and cultural movements that have shaped the course of human history. Each period has contributed to a rich tapestry of voices, ideas, and experiences that continue to resonate with readers and scholars alike. From the epic tales of Beowulf to the intricate narratives of Jane Austen, from the profound works of Shakespeare to the revolutionary writings of the Romantic poets, and from the modernist innovations of Virginia Woolf to the postmodern explorations of Salman Rushdie, English literature offers a vast landscape of thought and creativity. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the annals of English literature. May the works we've discussed inspire you to delve deeper into the rich tradition of storytelling and to discover new perspectives on the world and ourselves.